There are moments in the NFL when the silence speaks louder than any press conference ever could. No headlines, no sound bites. Just a heavy pause where the truth tries to sneak through the cracks. Okay. And right now, that moment is happening in Cleveland.c. I've watched a lot of quarterback battles over the years, some real, some scripted, but every now and then, something just smells off. And this one, this isn't a competition. This is a cover-up. They want you to believe Sanders is in the running for the starting job, that it's an even playing field. But that's not what's happening behind closed doors. This isn't about giving him a fair shot, it's about burying him quietly. When Kevin Stefanski stepped up and told the world there would be a four-man competition for the Browns' QB1 spot, he made a public promise. Equal reps, open competition. First team opportunities for everyone. But when the dust settled and practice started, one name was mysteriously missing from that first team rotation: Sanders. Not one snap, not one single rep with the ones. Meanwhile, Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dillon Gabriel, they've all taken turns at the top. Sanders, he's been stuck running drills with third and fourth string defenders, guys who probably won't even make the final roster. That's not an oversight. That's a decision, a deliberate one. So the question is, why? It's not about arm strength, not decision-making, not leadership. Sanders has all that and then some. He proved it in college, and he's proving it again right now. 41 completions on 53 attempts in OTAs. That's a 77.4% completion rate. The guy is sharp, accurate, .com under pressure. He's threading the needle, running the offense like he's been in the league for years. And people are noticing. Reporters, analysts, veteran players. They're all saying the same thing. This kid is the real deal, and yet he's being pushed aside. Why? Because it was never about the competition. It's about protecting an investment. Stefanski and the Browns front office already tied there. Future to Dillon Gabriel, a third-round pick, a PR-friendly rookie, their chosen one. If Sanders were to outperform him, and he is it, would make them look bad, like they missed, like they wasted a pick. Okay? And in a league where front office decisions are under a microscope, admitting that kind of mistake, that's the stuff careers don't recover from. So instead of acknowledging it, they hide it. Gabriel gets the reps. The media narrative is the benefit of the doubt. When he struggles, they say he's learning. When Sanders shines, they say it's just against backups. It's not just a double standard, it's a strategy. A suppression campaign dressed up as development. And it's not just about Sanders. It's about what this tells the rest of the team, because players notice. They know who's balling and who's being protected. And when someone clearly earns their shot but still can't move up, that sends a message. Production doesn't matter, politics do. But here's the thing. You can only keep up the illusion for so long. Training camp's coming. Reporters will be there. Fans will see it for themselves. The cracks are already forming. Analysts like Emmanuel Akko aren't holding back anymore. He's calling it what it is: a lie, betrayal, a calculated move to control the narrative. And let's not pretend this started in Cleveland. This goes back to draft night. Sanders, one of the most talented and prepared QBs in the country, watched team after team pass on him. The Cowboys needed a backup and didn't take him. The Steelers waited until the 6th round to draft someone else entirely. And every excuse they gave, it doesn't hold up. This wasn't about football. It was about fear. Fear of what Sanders represents. Fear of the spotlight. Fear of getting shown up. But what they don't get is this. You can't contain a fire. Like his, you can try to ignore it, bury it, spin it, but it still burns. And when it catches, it won't just light up the field. It'll expose everyone who tried to keep it in the dark. Because in this league, real talent finds a way. Sanders, he's not waiting for permission, he's already rising. You ever feel like you're watching a storm roll in long before the first strike of lightning? Like something in the air just isn't right, not because of what's being said, but because of what's deliberately being left out? That's exactly what I've been feeling watching the Sanders story unfold. From the start, something about the energy didn't add up. The hype didn't match the numbers. The media tone didn't match the tape. And now, with training camp on the horizon, I'll say it flat out. The truth is starting to crack through the noise. And it's loud. This isn't just a story about a young quarterback trying to carve out his space in the league. No, this is something deeper, something uncomfortable. Well, Sanders isn't just being overlooked, it's being ignored in purpose. While the Browns put on their best PR face and preach competition, the reality is playing out right in front of us. 41-453 in OTAs, best completion rate, calmest demeanor. And yet, ... not a single first-team rep. That's not a coincidence. That's a choice. We've seen this before. The coded language. The questions laced with doubt. The double standards. A confident black quarterback. He's cocky, he dresses well, flashy. He doesn't entertain loaded questions. It's difficult. But give those same traits to a white quarterback, and suddenly it's swagger. It's leadership. It's grit. Same behavior. Different headlines. And Sanders, he's not playing by their script. He walks into every press conference like a man who knows exactly who he is. Raised by a legend, sure, but building. His own kingdom man, his own terms. And you can feel it's some people hate that. They hate the watch. They hate the calm confidence. They hate that he doesn't flinch under pressure because they don't want authenticity. They want compliance. But Sanders, he's not here to shrink. He's here to lead. I knew the moment the narrative shifted. Ryan Clark said it out loud. This isn't about football anymore. It's about race. It's about control. About boxing Sanders into a story that makes him easier to manage. It's the same tactic they used on every proud, outspoken black quarterback before him. Cam, Lamar, Jameis, different names, same playbook, but this time, we're not looking away. And if you want proof, look at draft day, a second-round projection. Maybe third at worst, drops all the way to the fifth. After a record-setting season, after dominating NIL headlines, after showing more poise under pressure than most veterans, then just days later, $100 million lawsuit drops, alleging racial bias and a campaign to sabotage his draft stock. And the media? Silent. Not a word. No investigations. No roundtable debates. Just ... crickets. Meanwhile, insiders whisper, he rubbed the league the wrong way. He's got primetime energy. He's too bold. But here's the truth. They're not scared of his attitude. They're scared of what he represents. Independence, ownership, self-definition, and they've never known how to deal with that. Then came his first press conference. As a Cleveland Brown, Mary Kay Cabot throws out a baited question. Could have gone sideways, but Sanders, he doesn't blink. He leans back in that chair, lets the watch catch the light, and says 4 words. I'm here to talk football, no drama. No ego, just locked in, quiet defiance. That moment wasn't just about composure. It was a message to the league, to the media, to everyone watching, and the fans. We felt it. We shared it, because that wasn't arrogance, it was power. It was leadership. It was clarity in a world full of noise. For the first time in a long time, a young black quarterback took control of his own story and refused to give it back. They told us greatness had to be quiet. That black QBs had to wait, stay humble, and be thankful for leftovers. But Sanders shattered that illusion. He hasn't taken a single snap in the NFL. And still, he's already changed the game. Because when a fifth-round pick generates $250 million in jersey sales before his first play, that's not marketing, it's a movement. They laughed when his jersey dropped before training camp, called it a gimmick, said he didn't earn it. But while they rolled their eyes, the people showed up. We crashed the site. We made him the #1 seller, not because we were told to, but because we believe. Sanders didn't wait for a seat at the table. He built his own, and now the league is lined up, waiting for a reservation. This isn't about the NFL embracing him. It's about the people dragging the league forward. Ready or not, Sanders has arrived, and his worth, it's no longer up for debate. It's undeniable. It's untouchable. It's already rewriting the rules. You know, I've been watching football long enough to recognize when the story we're being sold doesn't match what's really happening on the field. Sometimes, it's not about the stats, not about the tape. It's about the narrative. And when that narrative feels rigged, you can feel it in your gut. And right now, that narrative is circling one name: Sanders. From the jump, the league tried to box him in. Label him, discredit him. Fifth-round pick, they said. Just Dion's kid. Overconfident. Too polished. Doesn't fit the mold. But the second Sanders stepped onto that training camp field in Cleveland. All that noise, it got drowned out by something much louder. Reality. Because what I saw wasn't just a rookie trying to prove himself. What I saw was a storm rolling in. Quiet, controlled, but undeniable. And it had been building for years. By the third day of camp, it wasn't just football people who took notice. His jersey sales exploded, not just trending, not just moving, dominating. Outselling the top rookie jerseys from the last 3 years combined. That's not some viral stunt. That's not marketing fluff. That's hunger. That's loyalty. That's the kind of energy that follows a player who's already walked through the fire, from Jackson State to Boulder to Cleveland. This wasn't about riding anyone's coattails. This wasn't about a team. It was always about him, while the media waited for ESPN to co-sign him. Fans were waiting for one thing: the jersey link, and the moment it dropped, boom! It was like a digital explosion. The message was clear. We see you, Sanders? See? You don't move numbers like that off of a name. You do it because you're undeniable. Because you carry a story people feel. That jersey rush. That wasn't hype, that was history. At this moment, it didn't come out of nowhere. It wasn't TikTok magic or social media smoke. It was years of grind, years of calculated steps, years of shaping his own brand, his own voice, his own presence. Sanders didn't copy his dad's legacy. He evolved it. The sharp suits, the calm demeanor, the fire underneath, that's not mimicry. That's evolution. That's primetime 2.0. And while the league stayed stuck in its old playbook, the storm crept in and it hit hard, especially for young black fans who finally saw someone in the league who didn't just look like them, but moved like them, talked like them, represented them, while the talking heads mocked his confidence. Sanders was out here making moves, quietly, strategically, relentlessly. This wasn't manufactured, it was earned. And let's not forget, on draft day, he was projected as a second-rounder, maybe even late first, but he fell to round 5. After everything. After the numbers, after leading Colorado through one of its most explosive seasons. After handling the media spotlight like a pro. After dominating NIL like a CEO in cleats, so why the slide? Well, not long after, a $100 million lawsuit dropped alleging the NFL intentionally sabotaged his draft stock due to racial bias, and suddenly, the media, silent, stone cold. Nobody wanted to touch it, but inside the league, the whispers got loud. He's too much like Prime. Key makes execs uncomfortable. He's got that Kep energy. Qua. But here's the thing. This wasn't about protest. This was about presence. About control. About a young man who refuses to be molded. Who refuses to shrink. Who refuses to play the part. And that scares people. Because players like Sanders, they don't fold. They don't follow the script. They write it. You want to see how? He handles pressure. Look no further than his first press conference as a Brown. Mary Kay Cabot tried to bait him. Tried to poke the bear. He didn't flinch, didn't raise his voice, just leaned back, cool as ever, his watch catching the light, and said, "I'm here to talk football." That was it. No show. No outburst. Just surgical calm. And the internet. It felt that everyone did. This kid is different. The old rules. The ones where black quarterbacks were told to wait their turn, stay humble, smile through the disrespect. Sanders burned those rules to the ground without even throwing a single NFL pass. And then camp began, and whatever you thought about the QB competition, let's toss it out. Flacco, Pickett, Gabriel. They weren't the story. Number 12 was. The moment he touched that field, it was different. The air shifted. The fans knew. Chants broke out before warm-ups were over, and when the drills started, he turned it into a showcase. Tight spirals, crisp timing, instant chemistry. It wasn't practice, it was a statement. Meanwhile, Gabriel, a T, looked rattled. Out route sailing. Reed's lagging. Not terrible. Okay, no, but in this game, not terrible. Doesn't get you the job. Sanders didn't just perform, he owned the moment. Footwork, clean release, fast. Red zone precision. On point, and the stats. They tell the same story. In closed OTAs, Sanders completed 77% of his passes, 9 touchdowns, 1 interception on a tipped ball. Gabriel struggled against soft coverage, and now, those struggles are spilling into camp. Even the local reporters stopped dancing around it. Victor. Ford said it straight. Sanders deserves to win this job outright. And he's right, because this isn't about charisma, it's about command. It's about results, and when pressure comes, Gabriel fades, Sanders sharpens. They want to talk about his background, his attitude, his confidence. Fine. But while they're doing that, he's stacking reps, delivering reads, leading with poise. And if this competition is even remotely fair, that depth chart has to shift. And soon, because I've been around football long enough to know when, a guy is built for the moment. And when a guy is the moment, right now, Sanders is the moment. So if you've stuck around this long, thank you. Drop a comment below. Let me know what you're seeing. Because this story, it's bigger than Cleveland. Bigger than a 5th round pick. This is a league trying to hold back a storm. But here's the thing about storms. You don't stop them. You brace for impact. And trust me, it's just getting started.